What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Go Get 'em Sports NFL pregame show. I'm your host, Adam Danis from Go Get 'em Sports and PickCity.com. It's week one. We're going to hop right into it. We're going to add my buddy, the good old Shane Williamson.
It feels good. We're back. It's been a long time.
Long time. Any big predictions to start off the show? What are your big, not long shots, but what do you see happening that some people might not see happen this year?
I think there's a game that'll when we get to it, I'll go more in depth. But there's a game that I think a lot of people are casting out a team, and I think they have a chance to keep it really close.
Interesting.
It's going to surprise you probably too.
Oh, but I like a little surprise in the early morning. All right, let's hop right into it. First game, Ravens at the Jets. This line's been moving a little bit. It's been at 7 all week. Now it's sitting around 6.5. Can't really tell you why. I guess some sharps like the Jets here at home as a dog, but what do you see in
I
this
mean,
game, my dude?
there's the ongoing stuff with like Lamar and the contract situation. He turned down a deal that would have given him like more guaranteed than like Russell Wilson because he's looking for like at least Deshaun Watson money.
Yeah,
So there might be some stuff going on off the field that could turn out to be going up on the field. You have the Ravens, who I can't tell you their number two receiver is probably Devin Duvernay.
mm,
So, and the Jets are supposed to be an improved team. I think they'll be an improved team as compared to last year. And even last year they were winning like big games. They beat the Titans and the Bengals last year, so they're capable of beating these teams. And it's the Joe Flacco revenge game
it
that
is
could be the
finally
narrative going on.
his first game back. Looking at some props for this game. Um, I did look at Lamar's passing yards. I don't know if you took a look at it. It's only at like 220 something, I believe it is. Um, I know he doesn't have a huge receiving core, but I still obviously still need to throw the ball once in a while. Any other props you like here for running backs or
To build off what you were just going about Lamar passing the ball, his number one option, Mark Andrews, he loves peppering him with the football. His receptions is at like 5.5 on
yeah,
FanDuel at like minus 102, which I personally like because if he's gonna give the ball to somebody, he's looking Mark Andrews' way first.
for sure. Um, yeah, I'll keep my prop bet in this one to the end where we give out our props. But again, people are always going to assume that like since they don't have a receiving core, they're not going to throw the ball. It's still the NFL. You still got to throw the ball once in a
I
while. You
mean, they're
can't
still
run the
without
ball.
running backs. Dobbins most likely isn't playing. Gus
Yeah,
Edwards on the pup list, so he's out at least a month. So their starting running
yeah.
back right now is Mike Davis and then Kenyon Drake.
Kenyon Drake. Yeah.
I don't see Kenyon Drake doing
Um,
a whole lot in this game, anyways.
if you look at total, it's sitting at 44. For me, if it hits that total, I think it's a close game. Me personally, because I think if the Ravens keep the Jets under under 14, it's going to be tough for the Jets to hold the Ravens at that point.
Hmm.
So if you look at the Jets here, I also like the over, but if you don't, I'd say lean the under. But I have no lean on the line on the spread here, so I'm gonna stay off
No,
it.
I would have to stay away.
Yeah. Next game, I wouldn't say an interesting game, but it kind of is. Colts at the Texans. You know, the Texans beat the Colts twice last year.
You know what
Um,
the
I,
points scored for both sides last year was for these two teams?
let's hear it.
The Colts had 62 points, Texans 3.
There you go. It's a good differential for the Texans. So obviously, double revenge again for this scenario. Texans coming in, Davis Mills, prove it year, I believe, for him. I also have a prop in this game that I like. I'll save to the end. But a funny thing about the Colts last year, they did not play well in the passing scenario defensively. They're one of the worst teams giving up passing touchdowns last year to the opponents. They're ranked like bottom third in the league. So I think I don't really they upgraded with Stephon Gilmore, which is I think a you know pretty good signing for them. Not really hyped about in the league. I think they'll help a little bit, but obviously their guy and Shaquille, sorry, not Shaq, Shaquille
I'm pretty sure
is
he's
out
not
today
playing
too.
today. Yeah, I was
He's
about to
out
say.
today. Yeah, he's
Even I
out.
mean,
So
even if he was, it wouldn't matter because he's not good in pass coverage. Even though
yeah,
people will tell you that because he's got a lot of tackles. If you have a
yeah,
lot of tackles, you're probably letting up a lot of catches.
yeah. So I don't know if the 7th it's a touchdown again. I don't know if I'm taking either side here with the 7.
I feel
I
like you
just
and it's first game of the season, home dog. Like it's hard to go that way because we don't know how this offense is going to look now with Matt Ryan. First of all,
yeah,
like I think it's a slight upgrade, I think, to what Carson Wentz was last year because Carson Wentz didn't play like absolutely terrible. Of
yeah.
course, in like the last game of the season, he laid an egg.
Well,
But
like what I told you this morning in that scenario comes into play again today. Since 2000, a team coming off a sweep of the same team as last year, and they're playing them in week 1 this year on the road. That team on the road covers 30% of the time if you're favored. So the Colts Obviously that line hasn't moved much. Obviously the public's going to be on the Colts here to just blow this team out again. I
Yeah.
wouldn't be surprised if Davis Mills keeps him in this game. I think
He
it's going
did
to be
it. He was capable of doing it last year, so I
yeah,
don't
his
see
last
why.
his last 4 games of the year, he had an 8-2 touchdown interception ratio, completed about almost 70% of his passes. So he didn't play bad last year towards the end when he started getting into a little bit of a groove. So let's see if he can hold that. He does have Brandon Cooks back. He does have a good running back and a sleeper that you and I both agree on, and Damian Pierce that no one's talking about for some reason. Again, his rushing yards. I don't know if you looked at it today, Shane. His rushing yards today. Want to guess at what it's at?
It's probably like a 40 something.
Yeah. Actually, it just went up. It was at 48 and a half when I looked at it last night. It's at 51 and a half now. So people are buying it up a little bit, but I think that goes over.
I mean, he's had one of the most like like rising off seasons of any
Correct.
rookie the past year. I think the last person we've seen like this was Dak, where they middle round draft pick and then instantly penciled in as a starter.
Yeah. And then last year, I always looked at this but never pulled the trigger. Mo Alley Cox for the Colts. His passing yards are always so low because he probably gets 2, 3, 4 targets a game. But those catches are good for 20 plus over the middle. And his props at 23.5 today is juiced up to minus 130. But it's always a prop I'm looking at to buy at a good price. But minus
I'd look
130
at
is a
him
little juicy.
for anytime touchdown too, because he's like
Touchdowns, yeah.
6'7", and he's probably going to be the red zone guy for Matt Ryan.
Yeah, his touchdown today is at plus 195, so that's pretty good value. Uh, so yeah, I again a game I'm not gonna really keep an eye on because it's Texans Colts, but um, this could be both ways. Either a blowout by the Colts, like per usual, everyone's guessing it's gonna happen, or Texans may get somewhat of a game down late in the fourth quarter. But yeah, big prove it year for Davis Mills. I have a prop for him too. We'll get into that later. It's a good value prop too, I think. All right, next game. Moving right along. Pittsburgh travels to Cincinnati. Sorry, Cincinnati. Obviously, Cincinnati again beat them twice last year. Another double revenge game for this Pittsburgh Steelers team coming in with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. Any analysis on this one, buddy?
People are probably going to hate me for this. I think the Bengals are going to do worse this year than they did last year. I think they overperformed, especially later end of the year. You can say, yes, they have an improved offensive line and all that, but Joe Burrow is kind of reckless with the football. He'll just throw it deep if he sees Jamar Chase down there or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Could be more turnover prone. You have the Steelers who their secondary is worse, especially after losing. I think they lost Joe Hayden, and that could be a problem. But it's still the Steelers defense. You're always going to think they're at least a top half defense in the league, especially under Tomlin. Their
Yeah, I mean
offense.
they lost Joe Hayden, but they also got one of the I think in my opinion one of the sleeper linebacker cores this year. They added Miles Jack to that linebacker core, which is a sleeper again.
Mhm.
One of those pickups that could be a sleeper. Come late in the season if he stays healthy. He's a villain, and Pittsburgh loves those guys. They did lose Joe Hayden, but they bring everybody else in the secondary. Um, I think that secondary locks Joe Burrow up today. Um, in the sense that I don't think he goes for 300 plus like he did
No.
in those previous 2 games. I think it's gonna be a slow grind game for this team. I think just the better team, not the better team wins this game, but I think the better team in an aspect of betting wise, I think the better team with less penalties, less just stupid shit today will cover this 7. I got him at 7.5. I bought it up to a half a point, but I like the Pittsburgh on the road aspect here.
Yeah, I think we also don't know about the Steelers offense because they have a new quarterback. Deontay Johnson is scheduled to play, so I mean they still have the receiving core. They added George Pickens, who I think some people don't realize is kind of already the number 2 there. He's kind of overtaking Chase Claypool at this moment. And they
Yeah.
still have Najee. I don't think Najee does great running the ball, especially behind that offensive line, but he could still provide a lot of yards through the air. Because if you remember last year, he had like
Oh
a
yeah.
third of his catches in like one game because he
Yep.
had like 14 catches on 19 targets.
Yeah, his receiving prop today
Absurd.
is only at 24.5. But last year, Steelers as a team were not good run defensively. That's why they added, I think, Miles Jack in the offseason. But they're like third to worst, second to worst against the run last year. So if that continues, look for a Joe Mixon game. That's why they're gonna see me a ground and pound with these two running backs.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see too many like deep, spectacular catches by Jamar Chase in this game. I don't see a huge game for him. Obviously, he's definitely a fantasy play today because he's Jamar Chase, but like his touchdown props only at plus 105. No value for me there.
No.
Value for me would be Pat Frymuth at plus 235.
Yeah, that's my guy right there.
And then Hayden Hurst, of course, as well. I think those two tight ends will somewhat be in the mix come red zone time for these two teams. I do have a prop in this one as well. It's going to be another quarterback prop. It's going to surprise you a little bit, but
so it's definitely Mitchell Trubisky. So
it's not Mr. Trubinsky.
Hmm.
Anyways, we'll get into that. All right. Another just like not boring game, but like I think we know who's going to win this game. It's just a matter of if they win by 7 or they win by 30.
I mean, there's no Kittle, which is huge in this game.
Yep.
So I think that is even going to slow down the pace of this game even more. Just like the last game, this is just going to be a battle of the run game.
That line dropped as well just now. That line's now at 6.5. Was at 7 all week basically.
Kittle dropped at half a point then.
Good. This is a prove it year. Do I think Trey Lance comes on the scene and just blows up and does great? No, I don't. I think he's gonna struggle a little bit.
They gotta ease him. They gotta ease him into being this, and it's a new system tailored around him. They gotta get the feel around this. They're gonna get all the running backs involved: Elijah Mitchell, Jeff Wilson, Trey Lance. He's probably gonna have. He might have close to double-digit carries this game. Who knows? Because we saw him last year.
And that's why the total is so low. It's in that 40 right now. I don't see it getting there, to be honest with you.
I mean, I guess 2010 game or something like that.
Yeah, 21-10. Yeah. I mean, not really a game I'm looking into in any betting scenario whatsoever. Debo maybe anytime touchdown at plus 105. Dave Montgomery's hitting that plus 165. That's not a bad bet, but do they get to the red zone is the question.
If you're looking for the juice, just look for Trey Lance anytime touchdown, because if they get in the red zone, they may just look to run it in with him.
Yeah, he's sitting at plus 190 right now.
I mean, I think that's pretty decent. If they get to the goal line, then yeah.
And we have that player prop future at Justin Fields over 3.5 rushing touchdowns we posted a couple days ago. He's at plus 250. So again, if they get into the red zone, he's going to be a look for them to, run it in. Byron Pringle, another deep threat. He's at plus 320. That's one throw. It's one throw for them, and he's in the end zone. But again, not too much to talk about in this one. I just think the Niners roll. Better coach team, better quarterback, much better defense. I think. They should roll in this, but I'm not touching a 6.5 point favorite in week 1. I just can't.
No, it's because you know nothing about these teams.
Correct.
Can't.
All right, my team.
That's Eagles. Not your team. That's not your team. That's just
well, this is my favorite team this year to see what comes up from this team. I think obviously huge additions in the offseason. A huge addition in was it Sauce? Is that who they got? Who they get?
What are you talking about in the draft? What are you talking? Oh, they got C.J. Gardner-Johnson from the Eagles.
Gardner-Johnson, yeah. I think another great pickup for them from the Saints. Now today it's a little sketch.
Well, yeah, I would not touch the spread of this game. You cannot.
So okay, so I looked at this game like earlier this week on Monday, and it was at 4. I'm like, 4-point spread don't sound too right. Now it's at 5.5. And I still hate it. I just I don't want to touch it. I don't.
There's so much hype around this Lions team. You cannot do a week 1.
Yeah. Other than that, really, I could see a huge scoring game today just because, again, you don't know what you're seeing from this Eagles defense. It's kind of new for them. They have some new pieces on that side, and the Lions, right? It's virtually the same team as last year, but they still have some weapons with TJ, DeAndre Swift, Amon St. Brown. It's still not a bad offense. It's just the offensive line is just terrible.
So, well, to look at the other side of the ball with the Eagles on offense, like think about it last year, they were pass heavy to start the year, and they weren't doing too hot. Then they went to the run heavy scheme, and that's what got them into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if they're trying to go back to a pass heavy attack because they just added AJ Brown, I don't think you add a receiver like that to run the ball 30 times a game.
Yeah.
We got to see if Jalen Hurts can actually handle throwing the ball downfield. That's a big part of this because last year he couldn't really do it.
Yeah. He's sitting at over 225.5 right now on DraftKings for passing yards, and his over 1.5 touchdowns is plus money right now. So, to me it looks like a low scoring game. I see like a 20, maybe like a 24-21, last second field goal here. I think Lions play this game close, and I don't like to say that because I like this Eagles team, but this line just tells me it's gonna be a close game.
The Lions were playing
Um,
everybody close last year. Now this year, I think they can just do the exact same.
yeah, I think Dave Campbell's got this team ready to go. Obviously, fired up as per usual, but at home, 5.5 point dogs. The disrespect factor for them, I just think they're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not saying the Lions upset today. I think Eagles win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a last second field goal or late touchdown to seal it. I don't think it's gonna be a walkthrough for them.
No.
All right, now we can get to my team. I don't really want to talk about it because I'm not gonna be happy about the outcome. Patriots take on the Dolphins today. Bill Belichick getting 3.5 on the road. It's so gross. I don't even know.
I
I
mean,
don't
when
even
you
know what to
have
say.
Matt Patricia doing your play calling, I mean, Matt
Yeah, I mean,
Patricia.
I really can't disagree. You have a defensive play caller who didn't work out well against the Lions defensive play caller and head coach and GM, and now you hire him as your offensive play caller.
I mean, it's
Bill.
him or Joe Judge. Which one would you rather have?
Well, Joe Judge actually has worked with quarterbacks and worked with an offense before, and I know he's probably not ready to take over a whole offense, but you have a guy in Patricia who has not called any offensive plays in his life, and now he's been calling play calls for your second year second year quarterback in Mac Jones in a brand new system, brand new.
Yeah, I was about to point that out if you didn't. The brand new offense that they're bringing in New England. New offense for the first time in like 20 something years.
Yeah, well, because the God ain't
Well,
there no more.
yeah. So,
Um, Look at
yeah,
some props here. Mac Jones over 1.5 touchdowns sitting at plus 135. His yards sitting at 232.5. Tua at 230. What do you think about Tua coming in this year? What do you expect?
not a lot. I'm not really a Tua guy. Like everybody's hyping up. It's like, oh, tank for Tua, and then he's coming to the league. He's had pieces around him, so you can't say like throughout his career he hasn't had anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see a lot. Like, sure, he can be accurate, but can he get the ball down the field? Like, does he have the arm power talent to get it down the field? Because you got to think he's got speed demons and Tyreek and Jalen Waddle to throw the ball down to. So he's got
Yep.
to be able to throw the ball down the field and throw it down there fast because that's how fast they're going to be running.
No, it's gonna be precision based. And it's gonna be tough for him, I think, to start off the year. Yes, we had training camp. Yes, we had preseason, but now you're playing against ones. You're playing against Bill Belichick, who has had huge success against Tua Tagovailoa in his career. Tua his only 3 games versus Bill Belichick and his defense. Passer rating of 81.9. He's averaging about 152 passing yards per game, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in 3 games played. Not great numbers
No.
for Tua here. Um, I can't bet the Patriots. I can't. I can't bet them when you look at them and they went to Miami. They're going to Miami, which is like hell for them. They hate it there. Bill hates
Yeah.
it. They've lost both games since Brady has left. They got swept last year. Both as favorites last year, they got swept. Um, and I know the double revenge factor comes into this play too. It's a 70% cash rate since 2000, but I can't lay the three. I can't get 3.5 for this team. I need 7 to be
Yeah.
comfortable.
And we got to see how this offense actually like looks because we have no idea what this offense
I have
entails,
no clue. No
how
clue.
they're gonna utilize Harris and Ramondre Stevenson. I'm pretty sure Ty Montgomery is not playing today.
I haven't seen anything yet, but that's again a big loss for them because I think he's James White this year who retired in training camp, and that's
Mm-hmm.
always been a big part of Bill's system. If it's still going to this year, I don't know, but we'll find out pretty quickly if Ramondre Stevenson's getting, 4, 5, 6 targets out of the backfield per game, and we'll know right away if that's still part of their system. Um, Obviously, Dolphins have some questions at running back. I think Chase Edmonds is going there number 1 right now. Is that correct?
Yeah, he's their guy. He was like the first person signed in free agency. The other questions are, oh, they signed Raheem Mostert. Oh, they've got
Yeah.
like Miles Gaston, Savon Ahmed. No, Chase Edmonds is the number 1 right there
Mm-hmm.
in Miami.
Awesome. Yeah. Again, I think Miami takes it to. I have the Patriots going 1-4 to start the first 5 games of the year. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, that's great. All right, moving on. I think we both agree this is one of our sleeper teams this year in the Saints. Um, but again, I'm not. Again, I cannot touch this 5.5 point line. Week
So
1.
at the beginning of the show, I said there was a game to watch out for.
Okay.
This is the game.
Let's hear why.
So last year the Jets were the team that were like keeping games close with competitive teams and even upsetting them multiple times. I think the Falcons are this year's Jets. They might be without Drake London today. If I'm them, I'm sitting him. I'm not going to risk rushing in a rookie receiver just to play the first game of the season. They still have Kyle Pitts, who could take a huge step this year, even though he had over 1,000 yards. He only had 1 touchdown last year. So this is going to be a completely different offense this year. This is going to be like a heavily RPO based offense. Look for short stuff. Cordell Patterson's probably going to catch the ball out of the backfield. They brought in Bryan Edwards from the Raiders, who you could say, like, who cares? I mean, he's going to be their number 1 today.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he has the talent to like be decent. I think he's a wide receiver 1? Absolutely not. But like on a good team, he could be the wide receiver 2 or 3 on a good team.
Not sorry to cut you off. I'm reading now that he's expected to play.
Who, Drake London? Okay, so that's just helping out my case even more then, because you have this dynamic playmaker in Drake London who can kind of body whoever he wants. And then defensively, they still have Deion Jones. They have AJ Terrell, who's one of the better young corners in the league. I think people are writing off the Falcons as one of the, if not the worst teams in the league, and they could end up being one of the worst teams in the league. You know who was one of the worst teams in the league last year? The Jets. So this could just be the same thing. Mariota's coming back with his old guy Arthur Smith, so they have that connection. Saints, you have Michael Thomas coming back for the first time in about 2 years. He's going to be playing. We got to see if he takes time to get used to playing at the NFL level, not just practice, and he's making great catches.
Yeah.
They bring in Chris Olave, who's a speed demon. They traded a lot to go get him.
I like him.
They bring in Jarvis Landry, who's just kind of like the security blanket, I think, for this team.
Mm-hmm.
Just a dependable guy that can go get the ball. You still have Alvin Kamara. You have Jameis Winston back. We got to see how that connection between Winston and Kamara goes, because I don't think this is going to be a team that just dumps the ball short to Kamara and lets him go in the open field a whole lot like it was with Drew Brees. Winston loves to air the ball out deep. It's just a matter if we get a calm, accurate Jameis or 30 for 30 Jameis.
And then also, looking at this game numbers wise, 89 or 86% of the money is on the Saints today. So I think another Vegas need for them today is to break up some parlays, break up some teasers. Um, would I be surprised if Saints lose? No. New head coach, Jameis first game back, and if they
On the
lose
road.
today, if they lose today, the season's not over. Like
No.
it's not a
Remember
make or
last
break
year?
game.
The Saints absolutely destroyed the Packers in week 1. Everybody thought, oh,
Yeah, in
who are the
Jacksonville.
Packers? And then guess what? Guess what happened to the Packers after they got torched week 1? They ended up being the number 1 seed and having the MVP.
Yeah,
So I mean, week 1
you,
isn't like the biggest worry. It's only a game.
you
Like
gotta expect some upsets.
people are already casting out the Rams. I'm like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
They
yeah.
played one of the best teams in the league.
Yep, unbelievable. The week 1 overreaction already in place. All right, one of the probably most talked about week 1 games I've seen in a long time. Carolina versus the Browns. What a shitty game this is. If there's no Baker Mayfield here, aspect that this game would be one of the worst games on the slate. But we'll
Yeah.
talk about it.
All right.
Baker against his former team. What happens to?
Okay. He said he was gonna f him up and whatever. People are probably gonna think that the Panthers steamrolled this Browns team. But I don't see this. So this is definitely a. I mean, the line is only the Panthers are getting points at home against Jacoby Brissett. What does that tell you about what they think about this Panthers team?
Dog shit.
Or how good this Browns team actually is. They probably have one of the more slept on defenses in the league. This defensive unit is disgusting on like all levels.
It's a unit.
Yeah, it is a unit. You bring in Amari Cooper to be your number 1. Who I mean, he's fine. He's not like terrible. They have Njoku they just paid big money, so now they're looking to really utilize him. You still have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, even though Kareem Hunt's got the contract issues. He could get traded. I've been seeing stuff that he could get traded to the Rams at some point, seeing what's been going on with Cam Akers. I don't know if
That'd
that
be
happens or
interesting. I
not.
like that.
Because I mean, if they trade him, then like they have to pay him, and I don't think they have really the money to pay him. But this game's gonna be super close. I don't think Baker goes for like 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks type stuff that people are saying. Do I think this is going to be really close? Yes. And would I be surprised if the Browns win this game? No. Panthers kind of have a slept-on roster, like offensive line-wise and defensive-wise. We know what their weapons are. They have Christian McCaffrey back. Let's see if he can stay healthy. They have DJ Moore, who's looking for a breakout year. He gets over 1,000 yards every year, but he can't find the end zone more than 4 times due to mediocre quarterback play. Baker could just be a one-hit wonder. We don't know. He had one good year in Cleveland, and that was it.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I'd like to see Baker win this game just because I'm not a fan of Baker, but I'm not like against him. I like him as a personality-wise, and I think he's a decent quarterback who's just had a bad rap the past couple of years. If you look at his stats, like before he got hurt last year, he was on like an MVP level. He was playing really, really, really well last year for the Browns. Then he hurt his shoulder and tried to play through it and never got healthy and just never worked out for them. Another need for Vegas today is the Browns. 80% of the moneyline bets today are on Panthers. 87% of the ATS is on the Panthers. And 77% of the money line is all on the Panthers today. It's all Panthers money. So I see a Browns win today. I see a Browns 17-14 win. Just one of those games where just too much public money is on the Panthers. I think the upset aspect of Baker just going in there and thinking that he's Aaron Rodgers playing against his old team, the Packers. It's not. It's still Baker Mayfield. It's still a new system, new players, new offensive line, new everything. Going into or playing against a team with Cleveland who has one of the best backups we've seen in the past couple of years in Jacoby Brissett, who will not lose the game for you, but he also won't win the game for you. He won't make any big mistakes to allow you to lose the game, but he's not going to go on the field and put 330 in your ass and put 4 touchdowns up. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think Cleveland runs the ball a shit ton today. A shit ton.
Big for Nick Chubb. Big Nick Chubb game probably.
Shit ton run. So yeah, this game I'll be looking at the score throughout the day, see what's going on. Probably on TV on some point just to see how Baker does against his former team. It's a storyline. NFL loves storylines, and they're gonna get some views today for that. So, next game, kind of a slept-on game. I think we both agree that this game is gonna be not fun to watch, but just fun to see what happens throughout the game and see the outcome. I think we both love Jacksonville today as dogs.
Yes. You take whoever, like, the matchup like this, you just take who the underdog is, because it's like, this is a closely matched game. You have Jacksonville, who finally has a head coach that isn't causing too much turmoil off the field, and has a lot of history when it comes to playing against Washington. We'll see if Trevor Lawrence can actually people think he played bad last year. He didn't play like bad. He didn't play good, but he didn't play like terribly for what he was given. You get back Travis Etienne, who's going to be huge for this offense. I think they made some pretty good additions on defense as well. Carson Wentz in there for the Commanders at quarterback. That's a question mark, because seeing what he did, he was kind of a game manager in Indianapolis behind the running game. You don't have the running game there anymore in Washington. That's a huge question mark. So you're gonna have to rely on Carson Wentz to win you games. They have the receiving core, I think, to do it, but do they have the quarterback and offensive line to do it? That's another question.
The only thing with me is, Trevor Lawrence, another prove-it quarterback here for this guy. He finished the year off pretty well against Indy. 23 for 32, 72 completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, no picks, only sacked one time. QBR of 69.1 and passer rating of almost 112. But other than that was his best game of the year, and he struggled, man, against these not so great opponents. The Jets, he threw for 280, no touchdowns. Texans, no touchdowns. Tennessee's secondary, threw 4 picks against them, and we know how bad their secondary was last year. It somewhat scares me a little bit, which is why I have a huge play in this game. And if you want it, hit me up on Twitter at GoGetEm_sports. I'll get you into our Discord for free today. It's a 5-unit play for me, and I don't see how it doesn't hit today, just because of how bad he's played. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not going to say too much more because it's going to get out of hand. But interesting game. Jacksonville coming into this game, new head coach, quarterback in his second year versus a team who really has no direction right now in Washington. Carson Wentz coming in, getting paid $30 million a year. What happens with him after the season? What happens with the new rookie quarterback and
Sam Howell?
Sam Howell, who we both think is going to be end up being their starter come like week 5 or week 6. But I wouldn't be surprised if an upset happens today. So I lean Jacksonville +3. If you want to buy it, +3.5, I like that too.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, moving along. Here we go, buddy. Boom.
Great.
You have the floor.
Can we go to the next game, please?
All right. Why? No confidence?
Well, we're without Kayvon Thibodeau. We're without Azeez Ojulari, so our 2 best pass rushers out of the game.
Okay.
Aaron Robinson's going to play our number 2 corner. We're going against Derrick Henry. Our best middle linebacker is Tay Crowder, who was Mr. Irrelevant last year. A completely new offense. Like, I don't know what to think about this offense, because you bring in Brian Dable, you improve the offensive line. Saquon's healthy right now. I mean, you don't really have a tight end today. I don't know if Daniel Bellinger, the rookie, is going to clear concussion protocol. Otherwise, Ricky Seals-Jones is also hurt. You might go in this game without a tight end, which is, I think, pretty important. You have inconsistent Kenny Golladay. You have Kadarius Toney, who, I mean, he's a playmaker once he gets the ball, but it's a matter of if he gets the ball. Sterling Shepard, I think he's on track to play, but again, he's just like a kind of a wash. I think as soon as his contract ends, he's gone, or he's going to get cut. I'm surprised he didn't get cut this offseason. Darius Slayton, I'm surprised he didn't get traded. Maybe they want to implement him in the offense somehow. I don't see a lot of even though I'm wearing a Giants jersey and I'll root for the Giants, whatever, I don't have any confidence in this team against
on
the road.
Yeah, a little bit.
I have zero. I'm sorry. Do you have confidence against the Dolphins today?
Only because Bill Belichick.
Okay.
That is the
Yeah,
only
I
confidence
have. I have a first-year head coach, so I can't bank on my coach. I have a quarterback who I think won't be my starter by the end of the year, and then like there's nothing to be at least for this game. There's nothing to be hyped about because
No, it's not.
you don't
It's
even
not
have
good, buddy.
Thibodeau on the field.
It's not good.
And
It's
you're
not good.
You're going against a guy that takes like 5 people to tackle in Derrick
Mhm.
Henry.
Oh yeah, Derrick Henry. Forgot about him.
Yeah, you forgot about that guy. You forgot about King Derrick Henry.
No, I think it's gonna be a Derrick Henry show. Not really much else to say. I think it's gonna be, Derrick Henry running for 210, 2 touchdowns. Ryan Tannehill might throw a pick or 4-4.
I mean, okay, let's go. Let's backtrack here. To this Ryan. I think people.
You don't know what you're gonna get with that dude.
I think people are slandering Ryan Tannehill too much. We're forgetting the past 2 years. There, he was. You could say he was on MVP watch the way he was playing, and then when he threw for 33 touchdowns and 6 picks that year. And we forget that they were also just the 1 seed last year without A.J. Brown, without Julio Jones, without Derrick Henry.
I know, but
I think we're putting too much hate on Ryan Tannehill right now.
It's not.
It's like,
just,
oh
it's
man,
recency,
they got the
it's recency bias.
Yes. And they also have this shiny new toy Malik Willis sitting in the wait. Oh, is he going to play this year? No, I don't think he plays this year. I think the Titans. Plays. I think the Titans are going to win this division still. I still think the Titans win this division.
Removed. That is a removed shame moment right there. You're picking the Titans over the Colts?
Okay, hear me. Listen. How much of an improvement do you think Matt Ryan is to Carson Wentz?
God.
First of all, how much of a
pretty good one in my opinion. I have a question. Who is Ryan Tannehill throwing the ball to?
Robert Woods.
Who?
They also Bobby Trees.
Oh, you mean one
Austin
leg
Hooper?
Robert Woods?
Okay, Austin Hooper. They have rookie Treylon Burks.
Maybe 4 years ago.
Austin Hooper. I mean, he's still.
You
want to know what my hot take of the year is for fantasy?
No, you already did it. So
I said for fantasy. I think Austin Hooper can finish as like a top 10, top 12 tight end this year. Tight end is such a scarce position. Who do you think people are going to fall off? You think Zach Ertz is going to be the number 5 tight end this year?
Oh,
that's what he was last year.
End the show.
The Colts are like kind of the same team as they were last year.
Give me Stephen A in here. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, you want the guy that said that the Chargers were gonna win, but the Raiders were gonna outscore them?
Oh my god! All right, we gotta get off this team. This game. I'm gonna throw up if you keep talking. All right, so Shane's hot take: Tennessee wins the AFC South, and Austin Hooper is now a top 10 tight end.
I said 10 to 12.
No.
All
right, it's fine. Top 12 tight end because Austin Hooper is not 30-something years old anymore, and he's now 22. Anyways,
he's 27, so I don't know where you got these
30,
numbers from.
27, the same thing.
Let's no.
Let's move on. Great game.
The Raidies. Oh man, I love the Raids. I love the LV Raids.
Ah, what a dick. What a dick. Anyways, Raiders coming into this game 3.5-point dogs. It just smells like an upset.
Is there a problem that I'm not interested in this game?
Maybe because you're not an NFL fan.
Well, I don't see it's gonna be just a typical Raiders Chargers game. There's not really much to be excited about this game. Yeah, you got Devontae Adams there now.
You got the revenge aspect of last year's, get into the playoff game. Big expectations for both these teams. Is Brian still in the hot seat already? Don't know.
No.
Don't think so?
No.
Josh McDaniels' first game.
Like how you think Mike Vrabel's in the hot seat? No.
I think he is.
How? You just come up being the 1 seed. You can't be on the hot seat.
I think he's in the hot seat. He hasn't won shit.
Hey,
I have a question. Did Mike Budenholzer get fired after being in the 1 seed in the NBA?
You're talking
years.
about two completely different sports
No,
here, bud.
answer the question. Did he?
You're talking about different sports.
Answer
completely
the
different
question.
logic.
Answer the
I mean,
question.
he might have.
Oh, he might have. So yeah, he did.
It's a completely
So,
different sport. Completely
teams
different.
don't care about being the 1 seed if you don't win garbage in the playoffs.
You think that's why the Ravens won't sign Lamar Jackson?
No, it's probably because he's black.
That I wouldn't go that far because you've seen black quarterbacks getting paid, so I don't know.
No, they don't.
NFL Pat Mahomes is literally the highest paid player like ever, and he is half black.
Yeah, but I think it's just the narrative, and unfortunately,
Deshaun Watson just got paid. Russell Wilson just got paid.
That's the rumors. I think I know it's a conspiracy theory, and I don't think it's right, but
I think it's just because Lamar wants more guaranteed money, and they're not willing to give him more guaranteed money. Because that's what players want in the NFL. Because it's like the one sport where you don't get guaranteed as much guaranteed.
I guess, but the narrative is that his skin color matters in the NFL, and at the position, which I don't understand. I don't understand why that's the case, but that's what I've heard. I don't know if it's intelligence for him if he's not in the watching film or whatnot, but I've heard that they don't believe in his intelligence.
You think he needs a contract clause like Kyler Murray where he needs to do homework?
I don't know. I don't understand why the Ravens haven't signed this dude yet. Like, what are your options after this? If you don't sign him, you have no.
Tyler Huntley.
No, you have no options.
Bring back Joe Flacco. Bring back the good memories of Super Bowl run.
Terrible. Just give the guy his money. Pay that man his money.
Yeah. Anyways, back to this game. I mean, Hunter Renfrow is a complete stay away from me. I'll just get that the little teaser for fantasy. Just don't play Hunter Renfrow if you have to play him. Don't is my thought process because he's just gonna get overshadowed by Waller and Adams. Josh Jacobs, the running back room's a complete mess. I don't think they believe in Josh Jacobs in the slightest. I think Zamir White ends up being the starter there at some point. Defensively, the Raiders have a good front seven. Their secondary's washed. Who do they have at corner? I think they just traded their best corner. They traded Trayvon Mullen to the Cardinals for like a 7th round pick.
For the Raiders?
The Raiders trade, I don't think the Raiders have a single decent corner on their team right now. And then you look at the Chargers.
Total opposite.
JC Jackson's not playing today.
Yeah.
But so I mean Devontae could have a game. I mean, you're obviously gonna play Devontae Adams just because it's Devontae. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a big game from like a Gerald Everett. He's kind of the not talked about guy in that Chargers offense, and I don't think the Raiders can do much against like much of their. I think this is a clear Chargers game, but I wouldn't bet the spread in any way, just because these teams can be close and they're division rivals, and there's so much narrative stuff going into it. But I personally think the Chargers come out on this game.
So do I. I like the upside here. I like the Chargers as a team going forward in the season, but I smell a dirty upset here. Plus 3.5 game. Plus 3.5 games last year are known for upsets. This is gonna be a home game for the Raiders. LA does not have any fans in their stadiums, as we saw on Thursday night with the Bills. I'm taking the 3.5. I'm running with it probably and sprinkle that money line. But
yeah, I mean that's for value. Yeah.
Next game we have the Packers and the Vikings.
This is my most excited for game of the day.
Okay, this is where we're gonna disagree.
Yeah, I know you're taking the
Vikings. We've already disagreed here with how the division's gonna wrap up because you're still Aaron Rodgers. But who is he throwing to?
He's got one of the better running back duos in the league in Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon.
No. I asked who he's throwing to, not who he's handing it off to.
You think Aaron Jones can't go for like 5 catches a game like he was last year?
Yeah, 5 catches for 50 yards. That's great. But where's the other 200 coming from?
There's Robert Tonyan.
On my offense, yeah.
Guess who's playing for the Packers this week? The Week 1 god, Sammy Watkins himself. Past 3 years, he's had over 100. Past 3 seasons, over 100 yards and at least a touchdown in all 3 Week 1 games. He's Mr. Week 1.
He's also 45 years old.
He still performs, so who cares? Who's gonna? Oh, you want to talk about who's they're throwing to? Who's gonna defend him in the secondary for Minnesota?
Mr. Smith,
who ranked 32nd in secondary last year. Harrison Smith.
I mean, I'm not worried about it.
I mean, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. Aaron Rodgers is still going to sling the ball. It's Aaron Rodgers. He's not going to run the ball 30 times a game. He's still going to sling the rock. We've seen that he's been able to throw to random people all the time, so I don't think there's no reason to think he couldn't. He has a safety net in Randall Cobb, who people think that he's washed. He can still get you 50, 60 yards.
No, he's not bad, but
which is kind of all you need him to do. You got 2 rookies coming into play. Preseason god Romeo Dobbs, or Dobbs, however you want to pronounce it. He's probably going to have to step up because of Allen Lazard. You have Christian Watson, who they took early in the draft in the 2nd round. He can be a monster, but I think it's going to take him a little bit to get adjusted to the NFL play style. Bakhtiari isn't playing, which could be a problem for Aaron Rodgers, having to get the ball out quicker, which is why I like Aaron Jones more, because he's going to have to dump it off quick, because they have former Packers Zadarius Smith and Danielle Hunter rushing Aaron Rodgers every play. The Vikings are a good team. I'm not going to say – I think on paper they're a good team, I'll say. It's yet to see what they're doing, because they're bringing in a whole new offense and stuff. We'll see how this works. They're going to be more pass heavy with Captain Kirk. But the Vikings can still win the division, but I think when you have a guy like Aaron Rodgers who's very mistake free, I'd say, and I think you would agree, he will rarely turn the ball over.
He isn't throwing tight windows. He'd rather throw in the dirt.
Very particular. Well, I mean, that's not the bad thing to do.
No, it is when you don't win games anymore.
I mean, what's to say they don't win games?
How many rings you got?
You can't just bring up rank conversation for every player.
What do you mean? This dude is supposed to be the GOAT.
No, I don't know who you're talking about. Who says he's the GOAT?
No, but he is. He's like 1-2 of most talented quarterbacks that.
He's one of them. He's like top 3 most talented quarterback of all time, just by play style.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah,
he doesn't take risks. He doesn't
take
risks.
That's not a bad thing.
In ball games, yes, it is. It's why he hasn't won a Super Bowl since I was 8. That is why. Why.
But they might not need him to take risks. This defense, I think, is going to be a top 5 defense in the league. The Packers defense, I think people are sleeping on because they lost to Zadarius Smith. I think they're just as good, if not better, because they didn't even have Zadarius Smith a whole lot last year. Secondary is better.
Who they had in the second? Stokes? No, he was there last
year. Stokes is taking a step up this year. He played decent last year. If they got rid of Kenny King, that's why they got better. Kenny King is absolute dog water.
Where'd he go?
That's why he's not on a team right now, because he's that bad. They added Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt to their defense, to a fast linebacker and a good defensive lineman. And it's still the Packers. You have one of the best coaches in the league, a top quarterback in the league. It's hard to bet against that. It's like why you wouldn't have bet against the Bucs to win their division right now. Because they have Brady, Bruce Arians, who's still a pretty good coach. But you're not going to bet against Brady in that instance to win the division. Why would you bet against Aaron Rodgers in this instance, where he's been in the same division every year? The only times they haven't won the division, since Rodgers has been there, is when he got hurt.
Yeah, and they added Devontae Wyatt, too. I like that pickup from Georgia. I'm not betting this game. I'm not going to pick a team because I'm not going against Aaron Rodgers, obviously. But, there's a reason why he's a dog. I'm sorry.
Aren't they favored?
Minnesota is favored by 2.
Oh, yeah. So, Aaron Rodgers being favored on the road against a team that's supposed – this Vikings offense is going to be highly touted, or supposed to be highly touted because I got the guy from the Rams calling plays, and look what they did with Cooper Kupp. Are we sure that that's the reason? Because he left, and we just saw Cooper Kupp be Cooper Kupp again.
Yeah, but that offense was shit.
I mean, so was that defense. You want to talk to Jalen Ramsey?
Holy God. We won't get into that, but
I mean, people are praising the Josh Allen performance. I mean, yeah, he had 4 touchdowns or whatever, and one of his picks wasn't really his fault, but like
I'd say both.
One of the corner for the Rams just jumped that ball. That was all that corner making a good play. The one where Isaiah McKenzie bobbled it kind of when he was coming down and it got picked off by the linebacker. That one I'll give some leeway to, but still, he's got 2 picks under his belt already this season.
Yeah. So I like the over. I like the over here.
Yes, I think this is a shootout, like 50, how it was last year in the second 50s. Game.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Third to last game. You got the Chiefs taking on Arizona today in Arizona.
God, this game, such a high total for, I think, meh. Like
for meh.
I mean, I think you got your obvious people that are going to get the ball. You got Travis Kelce, who's just going to probably be a target hog. Behind that, it's really just a question mark. Like, we don't know how this offense is going to look. You would think Juju's the guy that steps up because he's like a veteran and he's the more like accomplished out of the guys that they have. They bring in Marquez Valdes-Scantling, who's really just a field stretcher. You bring in rookie Sky Moore, who I don't think is ready yet to start. He's like 4th or 5th on the depth chart. Mecole Hardman's kind of a wash. I don't see him being really much of a huge factor. Other side of the ball, Zach Ertz was questionable throughout the entire week. He's actually playing now, but you still have no DeAndre Hopkins. Rondale Moore's out. You lose Chandler Jones on defense. I'm pretty sure Rodney Hudson's questionable in a game time decision for their offensive line, which is huge. J.J. Watt's not playing. Their secondary, I think, is still fine. They still have people like Isaiah. I don't know what they're doing with Isaiah Simmons. Nobody knows what they're doing with Isaiah Simmons, if he's going to be a safety or a linebacker. He's kind of just both. He's kind of just a bigger Jamal Adams. But
I'm getting word that J.K. Dobbins is out today.
He is. In fact, Mike Davis is probably going to be the starter. Which, I mean, if you fantasy tip, only play him in a flex. Do not. If Mike Davis is one of your 2 starting running backs, I think you need to go make a trade immediately. But I think the Chiefs win this game comfortably.
Yeah, I don't see it being high scoring though.
Yeah, I don't see it being in the 50.
No, I think Arizona's going to struggle. You know, Kyler Murray's going to throw maybe 1 or 2 picks today. I think he's pushed the envelope too much and he's throwing to
Hollywood Brown. That's
really it.
I mean, AJ Green's going to have to step up if they want to. People forget that they had him.
He's virtually a tight end now.
I mean, they also have a rookie tight end that I like, but I don't know how much playtime he's going to get now, especially with Zach Ertz here.
Wow, Pat Mahomes over 2.5 touchdown passes. So that's a prop. I'm going under.
I mean, if they score, they're probably passing it though, because like they don't really run the ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really.
I'm not excited about this game. I'm not excited for this game, really. People might be like, oh, 53-point total, blah, 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 garbage, whatever.
Yeah. I'm going to go under.
I'd probably lean the under as well.
I'm going to go.
Would not touch the spread, though, because Chiefs
28-21 Chiefs. That's my prediction.
Sure. Do not touch the spread if you're a betting person. The Chiefs are notoriously bad at it.
All right. Let's keep it rolling. Moving along pretty nicely here. All right. Next game, we have Sunday Night Football. Might be one of the best games in the slate today. Buccaneers take on the Cowboys tonight. What do you think?
Yeah, this hurts for me to say, but I like the Cowboys here.
I'm going to disagree.
I think the huge losses to the offensive line for Tampa Bay is going to prove to be something.
I think the huge losses for the offensive line for Dallas is going to be something. Who's playing left tackle tonight? Who? Tell
couldn't
me
tell you.
who right now.
I just said I
Exactly.
couldn't tell you.
Exactly.
Okay, who's playing the entire interior?
Problems.
Who's playing left guard, center, and right guard for the
Shaq
Bucks?
Mason.
He's mid. He's old
What?
and mid. Old and
Mid?
mid.
What?
They're on their third string left guard.
They'll be all right.
There's question marks with this offense. Like, is Chris Godwin playing or not? I would probably say no.
I haven't read anything yet.
He's like a game time decision, but based on like what his fantasy projection is, it just keeps going lower and lower. So it's looking like he's not going to play. You have Julio there, who knows how he's going to perform as the number 2 there. You have Russell Gage, who is still kind of hurt. I mean, Mike Evans is probably going to be Mike Evans. He'll probably go for like 6 catches, like 70, 80 yards, maybe a touchdown.
Chris Godwin trending towards playing today.
Oh, why? There's no reason. Like he tore his
9 minutes ago. Buccaneers wide receiver Chris Godwin expected to play against Cowboys today.
Like, I don't see a reason to rush him back. He tore his ACL in like week 15 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like that's not a lot of time to come back. Like, and we saw what happened with Cam Akers when he came back, when he rushed after like 6 months. He was the most inefficient running back we've ever seen. But at tight end, what Cameron Brate's their tight end, I care less. It's garbage. Cowboys, I don't see running the ball as a factor this game. I think Zeke's going to get boxed. Buccaneers, what they're known for is their good run defense. Their pass defense is kind of sketchy, which is why I'm going to like Dak airing out the ball here. CeeDee Lamb, Dalton Schultz. Jalen Tolbert, the rookie, apparently is going to be a healthy scratch for some reason. Like, why would you have him sit?
Yeah.
Especially when you don't have Gallup playing. So
there's a stat here that you're not going to like.
Yeah, probably not.
I'm the stat man. Do you want to know how many losses Brady has against Cowboys?
Yeah, no, he's 6-0 against the Cowboys. Yes, I know.
Yeah, I'll take Bucks minus 140.
Okay, so if you remember last year, this was the matchup week 1 last year, opening night, and it came down to like a game-winning field goal. I'm pretty sure, or it was like a 3-point game. I mean, I think this Cowboys team is about the same, and I think the Bucks got worse.
No,
so
Dallas got much worse.
I mean,
really,
am I going to be?
Dude,
Amari
you have
Cooper,
Jalen Tolbert as your second wide receiver.
He's not even playing today, so I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, so your second wide receiver is Noah Brown.
Okay, you have Dalton Schultz as your number 2 option, who blew up last year.
Noah Brown.
Okay. What is that supposed to do?
You know his stats were last year?
Just because he wasn't a starter last year doesn't mean he's not like.
He was a 7th round pick.
Brady was a 6th round pick, so don't take draft picks mean anything. Wait, okay, I'll bring a better.
I can't. You just compared. No, you're out. You're out of the stream. You don't talk. You just compared Tom Brady to Noah Brown. That is your argument.
I have a better comparison.
Let's hear it.
Darnell Mooney is a better comparison.
Trash.
Okay, I wouldn't call him trash, but he was a late round pick when he was drafted, and he's been. Would you say Darnell Mooney is serviceable? God. Yes or no?
Serviceable. Yeah, he'd be the fucking number 2 on this team.
All they need is for whoever the other supporting options that aren't named Tony Pollard, Zeke, Dalton Schultz, and CeeDee Lamb to be serviceable. Offense is
awful.
The Buccaneers secondary is awful. So there you go.
I'm not worried about it.
I mean, if you got to guard the people getting thrown the ball.
Who you taking right now, Dak or Tom Brady?
I mean, Tom Brady's a better quarterback. That's not a question.
Okay. So
running back room, I'm taking the Cowboys over the Bucks. Would you rather Zeke and Pollard or just Leonard Fournette?
Wide receiver core.
I mean, when healthy, the Bucks, but guess what? The Bucks aren't really that healthy right now.
No. Right now.
Right now? I mean, are we saying Jalen Tolbert's there or no?
Why would that matter? It's Jalen Tolbert.
Because you're having Chris Godwin come off a torn ACL, and I don't think he's going to be that productive.
Oh my God! You have.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay, if we're
Mike Evans.
talking...
Okay, no Chris Godwin. Mike Evans, Julio Jones.
Washed. Julio Jones is washed. I don't want to hear anything.
Russell Gage.
Injured.
He's still playing.
Injured.
Those three are better. Okay, way, way better than Gallup, Tolbert, and Noah Brown.
Well, you forgot CeeDee Lamb. I like how you just bypass him.
I'm sorry. Is Gallup not playing?
No, Gallup's not playing.
Out. So
Dalton Schultz is their number two.
No tens. CD, Tolbert when healthy, and Noah Brown. So wait. So Gallup's out, Tolbert's out. So their receiver core today. CeeDee Lamb, Noah Brown, and Dennis Houston.
I'm telling you, Dalton Schultz is their number two option on offense.
Dennis so I don't know Houston. Never heard of him?
I don't know what your argument is here.
My argument is, who the hell is Dak throwing to, dude?
I literally have said like 4 times who he's throwing the ball
to.
Say
it one more time. I forgot the names.
CeeDee Lamb. Mm-hmm. Dalton Schultz.
That's it.
Tony Pollard.
Nah.
What do you mean, meh?
Nah. What's the Cowboys team total? That's running down to 0.
Yeah, I think you're drunk, but it's okay.
I don't understand how you think that team is going to beat this Brady team.
Any team can lose any Sunday.
Oh my God, that's a terrible argument.
I think
that is bullshit.
I don't think this Bucks. I think the Bucks team got more worse than what they were compared to last year. Like there's a bigger gap from where they were this year to last year than the Cowboys gap is from this year to last year.
These last couple games really pissed me off, Shane.
Well, it sucks to be you because you're you want to talk about me sucking off Tom
Brady? Next.
Oh, great! This garbage game too. Great.
All right, we Broncos on this. And Russell Wilson take on the poverty minor league team of the Seattle Seahawks.
All right, everybody thinks
6.5 for some reason.
Everybody thinks that the Broncos are gonna just sling the ball like crazy. Russell Wilson's gonna go for 300 plus, 3 touchdowns. He's gonna absolutely destroy him. Not me. I do not think that in the slightest. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game. I think. Guess who knows the most about Russell Wilson? The team that he was on for the most time, the Seahawks, so they know his play style. Mm-hmm. I don't see. I mean, Russell Wilson can have like a decent game. He could have like 280 and 2 touchdowns. Sure, it's not going to be anything to blow like steam out or anything. I think the Seahawks team's going to stink. I think they lose like 27-13.
I said 24-17.
You think they score? You think that they're gonna? The Seahawks team's gonna keep it that close with Geno Smith at quarterback.
Yeah, Geno Smith's a god. Week 1.
Hey! I want to quiz you real quick. Can you name me 3 people on the Seahawks defense?
No.
I mean, okay, I'll help you out here. Jamal Adams can't cover for shit.
He's terrible.
Shaquille Griffin, not his brother who retired.
Actually,
no, he's not there anymore. Psych, I lied. He's on the Jaguars. Poona Ford. You know Poona Ford?
Oh, they got Quandre Diggs.
Okay, they got him at free safety. That's about it. They got Sidney Jones as their best corner. Wash.
No, I think Mike Jackson's their best corner.
They have Jordan Brooks at linebacker. Otherwise, nothing. I don't know who's going to rush the passer on this team. Rookie Boyamafe. Rookie Boyamafe is going to go in there.
One more time.
Boyamafe. Like, this team is probably going to have the worst defense in the league, if I had to guess. I mean, yeah, they have playmakers on offense. They still have a shitty offensive line. They have a huge question mark at running back because, I mean, they have Rashad Penny on like the last year of his deal, and then they have Kenneth Walker, who's not even going to be there because of a hernia. So the Seahawks are going to probably look to be a run-first team like they always have, but I don't see them getting much production in the passing game. Like, it's going to be a bad year for Lockett and Metcalf.
For sure.
Noah Fant. That being the best player you got in a return for Russell Wilson.
Yeah, not good. Not good. All right. We'll wrap up the show with some player props, and Shane's going to take it away with some fantasy. All right. Player props. What do you got?
All right. Things I like the most here. Najee Harris under 62.5 rushing yards.
Okay, 1 second.
He has not had a lot of success running the ball against Cincinnati. And that offensive line is still depleted. So I don't like him running the ball. I liked it at minus or 62.5 under rushing. Let me know when you're ready, sir.
Okay. What's the odds of
that? Minus 114.
Okay.
I like Mark Andrews over 5.5 receptions at minus 102. I think that's pretty good juice for the number one option.
Minus 102.
Yep.
Okay.
Chase Edmonds rushing yards is only at 38.5. I think if the Dolphins get up, they're just gonna probably look to run the ball, and he's their number one guy. So 38.5 minus 114. That feels like a low number in my eyes. My boy Trey Lance, we love betting on Trey Lance rushing props here. 38.5 right now. I feel like that's just way too low. He's gonna run the ball like 10 times.
You said 30 what?
38.5. That's at minus 114. And then my last one that I'll put there is Travis Etienne over 3.5 receptions at plus 124.
Over 3.5?
Yeah. At plus 124. I think that's a great. If Washington can command pressure even without Chase Young, which I think they can against a to below average offensive line, he's gonna have to get out the ball quick. Trevor Lawrence loves throwing the ball to Travis Etienne, so I don't see why that we can't just rebuild on that connection at plus money. And that's awesome. Those are my favorite player props there.
I like all those. All right. I have 5 as well. First, we're going to look into Lamar. We're going to go over 224.5 passing yards. He did it in 9 of 11 games last year. I think he continues that. I think he just takes control of the offense. So look for him to have 240, 250 today. Davis Mills over 1.5 touchdown passes at plus 155. Like I said, Indianapolis, one of the worst teams at defending the pass in the red zone, and they gave up the third most receiving touchdowns last year to opposing quarterbacks. I think Davis Mills is going to be behind most of this game. I see them passing most of the game. I could see Brandon Cooks going for 1 and somebody else going for another probably. Next one, Joe Burrow, 1+ interception today at plus 110. He did it in both games against the Steelers last year. The Steelers converted the third most interceptions by a defense last year in the NFL. And I think the defense plays well today. I think they step up and keep Joe Burrow pretty contained. So I like him to throw a pick, make one mistake today. Next one is Jalen Hurts. We love Jalen Hurts as well with rushing yards, Shane, don't we? Jalen Hurts over 46.5 rushing yards today. The Lions were the second worst team in opposing rushing last year in the NFL. I don't think they added too much to get better besides the rookie, which I think he's going to struggle a little bit. I'm not a huge believer in him so far. I think Jalen Hurts, again, takes control of this game, and I think he gets for 50, 55. He did put up 71 last year against the Lions. So I think he does similar stats today. And then my last one, I don't think you're going to like – you might like this one because you're not a big Tua guy. Tua under 231.5 passing.
There you go.
I think Patriots were the best team on the road in passing yards per game against opposing quarterbacks last year. They did lose J.C. Jackson, but I still like their secondary somewhat with the veterans and Duggar and McCourty. I think they take control. And they quiet down Tyreek Hill and Waddle. I don't know how those two are going to mesh yet to start the year. It's also game one with new head coach, new system. So Tua under 231.5, minus 125, and he hasn't done against the Patriots at all in his career. He's like I said earlier, he's 145, 202, 109 last year on this career against Bill. So those are my 5. Any big fantasy plays today for you?
All right. I have, for fantasy football, I have 5 players you should play and 5 players you shouldn't.
Okay.
Starting with the you should, I think if you have Chase Edmonds, he's worth starting. Number 1 running back on his team. It's going to be probably a lower scoring game. I think the Dolphins, if they get up, they're going to look to run the ball a lot. Chase Edmonds can also catch the ball, which is what you're looking for in fantasy. Number 1 running backs that can catch the ball. Those are big. Next, Hollywood Brown. He's the number 1 receiver in Arizona today. It's the highest over-under of today of 53.5. So you got to look to try to get some action there one way or another. Other side for the Chiefs, Juju Smith-Schuster, I think, can be a safe play. He's probably going to be the number 2 option for Kansas City, but the number 1 wide receiver. He's probably going to be beefing it up in the slot like he usually does. And then our last 2 players I have for players you should play are tight ends, Irv Smith and Austin Hooper. Like, this is for if you didn't get one of the top guys in Andrews or Kelsey or Kittle or whatever. Kittle's not even playing, but you probably waited a bit on tight end, and these are guys that some of these are even free in like waiver wires. You can get them for absolutely free today. But I think they both have great matchups in either being a high-scoring game in Irv Smith or being one of the main targets in Austin Hooper. Now, for players not to play, we're starting off with 2 rookies. Breece Hall for the Jets. He's, first of all, on the depth chart, he's the number 2 running back, even though they took him in the second round. And Michael Carter was recently touted as the heartbeat of the offense for the Jets, which doesn't look good for Breece Hall to start the season. So you may have taken him early, but I think it's too soon to be playing him, especially against the Ravens, where if they end up down, they're going to have to pass the ball a lot. We praised this guy earlier, but Dameon Pierce, I also think it's too early to start him right now. We don't know how this Texans backfield's fully going to shape up. I mean, they have Rex Burkhead and Dare, I can't even pronounce his last name, behind him. Ogun Boale, whatever. But we don't know if Dameon Pierce is going to be a full 3-down back yet, or if he's just going to be like the thumper, and then they bring in Rex Burkhead to be the receiving back. We got to see how this offense works with Dameon Pierce. Next, Michael Thomas. It is his first game back, but it's his first game back in 2 years. We don't know how in football form he is against actual ones playing against him, so I think we got to play the wait-and-see game with him. And there's a lot more options in New Orleans, so we have to see how the offense is going to pan out. This hurts me because I have to start him this week because he's my only quarterback. But I don't think you should start Trey Lance if you have other options. It's going to be a low-scoring game. Yes, he can run the ball, but he's not going to have probably a whole lot of touchdown upside today. It's going to be just a lot of ground and pound. If you have to start him, he's not going to kill your team, because if you're in a 1-quarterback league, it's kind of hard for your quarterback to really screw you unless he throws like 3 picks. I don't see him doing against the Bears. And then finally, Albert O for the Broncos, their tight end. Even in preseason and in practice, they weren't even viewing him as a full 3-down player. Like, they were mixing in their rookie tight end. They were mixing a lot of other players in. So he wasn't on the field as much. I think even though Russell Wilson loves throwing to his tight ends, I think we still have to play the wait-and-see game with him to see if he's actually going to play serviceable amount of time. Because everybody, as soon as Russell Wilson went there and Noah Fant left, they were touting him as a breakout tight end prospect. But I think we need to wait and see, and that based off reports, it's not looking too well.
Alrighty. Good stuff, my boy.
Yeah, whatever.
All right. That'll do it for week 1. Hour and 20-minute show. Great analysis by Shane there in fantasy. All right, good luck with your bets, guys. Please bet responsibly. We'll see you guys next Sunday. Peace.
See ya.